Stretching her arms, Cosme let out a hearty yawn as she stood in front of the school gates the next morning.
やっぱ朝までカラオケホールは無茶だったかな。さすがにちょっと喉が痛いや。ねえ、桜井さんは大丈夫？喉もそうだけど目がシパシパしない？
私は平気。
Kei answered with a shrug. She certainly was a bit tense, but that had nothing to do with her physically.
見た目細いのにタフだよね。まあ私もこれくらいのだるさなら若さで乗り越えちゃうけどさ。ゆうべは楽しかったもんね。桜井さんはどんな歌を歌うのかなって思ってたけど、洋楽ばっかりで驚いちゃった。しかも発音超うまいし。ねえ、また行こうよ。
ええ。
Provided a time like that ever came again.
でもさ、なんであんなに英語ペラペラなの？
外国暮らしの方が長かったから。
え？じゃあ帰国子女なんだ。
そんなようなものね。
She had lived in Central and South America from before she had turned 10. Ever since then, she'd also lived in North America, Europe, and Russia. Then after that, she spent almost 2 years in Tibet, China, and North Korea. Cosme's eyes sparkled with admiration as she listened to Kei casually explain her past.
すごい！そんな映画みたいな暮らし、私もしてみたい！
そんなにいいものじゃないわよ。
She received training from the Divine Vessel in Central America, support from Speen in South America, when she became self-reliant, then from Wilhelm in North America and Rusalka in Eastern Europe. She made the acquaintance of her comrades all around the world, receiving help from them each. Money, power, bloodlust, and guile, witchcraft, martial arts, language, culture, history, religion, and philosophy. She was raised as a proper child of the Obsidian Round Table. It was not a life Cosme would envy.
一体何カ国語話せるの
6か7。だけど一箇所に落ち着かなかったからみんな片言よ。
それでもすごいよ。
Cosme, her eyes glistening with a mixture of surprise and respect, seized Kei's shoulders.
桜井さん、これからは K 様と呼ばせて。テスト前とか私に英語教えてください。レンが言うには私物覚え最悪だからカンニングしろってことなんだけど、そんなの嫌だし。
まあいいけど。
Thinking it a meaningless promise, Cosme considered the building in front of them. Or Kei considered the building in front of them. She wondered what sort of demonic lair would be waiting for them inside. Nothing seemed odd about it from the outside, but she also knew that only the lousiest of magical barriers would ever betray their secrets at a glance. Without going inside, there was no way to tell what could be hiding in there.
行きましょうか。
She then passed through the gates with Cosme and entered the school building. Kei remained vigilant the whole time. It wasn't like she was breaching hostile territory, but entering someone's personal realm was no different from traversing the belly of a monstrous beast. Unless she kept her guard up, the atmosphere of the place alone could melt her away, quite literally.
あれ？なんだろう？これってちょっと。
And so this outcome was both incredibly abnormal, but at the same time quite expected. No one was there, not even her companion who had been walking next to her until seconds ago.
綾瀬さん。
She had lost sight of her. Not even a single speck of her presence could be felt. It wasn't like she had forgotten Cosme's existence. Maybe she had been a little too on guard. The fact that she couldn't even notice her disappearance meant that...
まさか。
Kei was no longer thinking about looking for Cosme. She had no obligation to do so, and it would likely prove to be a fruitless endeavor anyway. The barrier enveloping the school at the moment wasn't merely erected to isolate the school from the outside world. It was a garden of predation, a killing field, another world altogether.
想像。
The third degree of Ewigkeit, and it was devouring the school. But who did it belong to? It was a skill that could very well be labeled a trump card, a weapon that very few would even reveal to their comrades. Those who had fought together in the war might have witnessed each other's, but a newcomer like Kei had yet to see any. Logically, it would be natural to assume it was Rusalka's, but that didn't feel right. She felt as if she was being slowly boiled alive, her strength gradually waning with each passing second. She didn't expect to suddenly stumble into a creation figment. It was almost as if this was a trap meant to kill her.
遅い朝帰りね、レオン。やっほー、元気？
マレウス。
A surge of confusion shot through Kei's senses as she turned back to see a red-haired girl standing behind her, but she didn't forget to remain ever vigilant. What was the meaning of this? Did she lure her here to fight and kill her? Rusalka laughed when she saw Kei trembling with doubt and fury.
落ち着きなさいよ。ここであまり気合い入れると一瞬で吸い殺されちゃうわよ、あなた。
吸い殺す？
そう。
Rusalka heaved a tired sigh and glanced outside the window where a dramatic change had occurred. The sun had grown dark and dusky. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, yet the blue sky suddenly gave way for the orange of early evening.
私も迷惑してるのよ。あいつの想像、敵味方関係なしだし。
お前じゃない。
そうよ。見ればわかるでしょ。
The sun set and vanished in a second, turning the world into a realm of eternal night in the blink of an eye. A silvery full moon with no regard for the lunar calendar covered the sky, with the putrid stench of rotten blood lingering everywhere. Kei spotted black, jelly-looking lumps, like the remains of congealed blood and rotten flesh, slithering across the floor and walls of the building. It was like the nauseating world of a Night Stalker. In that instant, Kei suddenly realized the identity of its master. Wilhelm Ehrenberg. This world belonged to him. But then why?
待ちなさい。
Rusalka stood still and raised her hand as if commanding Kei to stop before she broke off into a run.
言ったでしょ。ここで野蛮なことを考えちゃダメ。心拍数と血の流れを調節してアドレナリンを抑えなさい。あいつに言わせればせいぜいまずそうな女になるのよ。ここでベイをそそっちゃうと一瞬で食われるわ。
A perplexing remark, but at the very least it didn't seem like Rusalka meant Kei any harm. What else would she be telling her how to protect herself?
お前はここをベイに譲ったのか？
そういうわけでもないけど。
Rusalka ran her fingers through her hair in a display of irritation.
私は私で手一杯なの。慣れないことはするもんじゃないわね。
Following Rusalka's gaze, Kei froze in place.
いくら私があなたたちよりキャリアが深いって言ってもね、他人の生物なんてそうそう簡単に扱えないのに。だから自己流でちょっと改造しちゃったけど。
Kei was no longer listening to Rusalka. Her thoughts had come to a complete halt.
カイ。
A giant abomination towered in the yard outside, passive like a sculpture. Countless shadows bound his arms and legs, connecting back all the way to Rusalka.
まあ操縦はこんな感じ。私じゃバビロンのやってたことの2割もできないから、足りないところは創意工夫でね。でもその代わりメリットだってあるんだよ。この方法なら遠隔操作も可能だし、隙だらけな姿を敵にさらすこともない。
バビロン。
Right, what about her? Kei came back to her senses. Why was Kane suddenly in Rusalka's hands? Where did his actual master, Lisa Brenner, disappear to?
あれ？気づいてなかったの？
She opened her eyes in surprise for a slight moment, then suddenly twisted her features into a malicious smile.
彼女死んじゃったよ。
No, impossible. She could feel her surroundings suddenly grow dim. Lisa passed away? Lisa was dead. Then what of him? What would happen to him? With their necromancer gone from their ranks, Kane was now little more than another dead body. He would rot, fall apart, and disappear. was unlikely he could hold out for more than another couple days.
クリストフは転んでもただじゃ起きないっていうか、本当に転んだのかどうかもわかんないけど、要は有効利用したいんでしょ。どうせ近々消えると言っても、それまで遊ばせとくのは惜しいからね、あの化け物ちゃん。
She could probably read Kei like an open book from her expression, and so she addressed her in a lightly mocking tone.
言ったように、私は私で忙しいし、あなたも来てくれたから仕事をあげる。
仕事。
Bewilderment still running amok in her mind, Kei was unable to comprehend Rusalka's words right away, to which the redhead replied with a grimace and a tired sigh.
この子がさ、なんか知んないけど来ちゃったみたいで。
Rea Himuro, why would she be in a place like this?
冗談じゃない。
All the anger and confusion Kei had been suppressing up until now came bursting to the surface.
あなた何を考えてるの？今ここがどうなっているか。
Did that fool have a death wish? What'd she think would happen if she died here?
あるいは自殺しに来たのかもね。
マレウス！
She couldn't help raising her voice at the witch's carefree tone. Rusalka, however, simply waved her away.
まあいいじゃない、面白いわよ。死のうと思って簡単に死ねるほど世の中甘くできてないし、メルクリウスがどれだけ性格悪いやつか、あなたもこの子も分かってないのよ。ハイドリヒ教も含めて、あの二人が死なないって言えば、それは死ねないってのと同じ意味。なんだったらそこから外に放り投げてみれば、多分大丈夫よ。とは言っても、実際面倒なお荷物ではあるわけで。
Rusalka turned around, leaving Rea behind.
レオン、あなたはお姫様のお守りをしなさい。拒否なんか認めないわよ。まったく、クリストフの監視もざるっていうか、何考えてんだか。もしかしてあいつ、わざとその子を行かせたのかもしれないわね。
わざと。
What was that supposed to mean? Rusalka gave Kei a mocking grin.
勘よ勘。長く生きるとね、世の中疑い深くなっちゃうのよ。けどまあ、ともかく、どうであっても、その子はあなたが責任持って管理するのよ。返事は？レオン、地産は一昔前じゃ処刑者の失態だって分かってるの？目をつむってあげるんだから、反抗的な態度を取らないでよ、お嬢ちゃん。
わかった。
よろしい。じゃあ若者同士隅の方で仲良く青春の悩みでも語ってなさいな。私とベイはここでレン君と遊ぶから。来るんでしょ彼？
おそらく。
オッケー。じゃあ状況開始。
Rusalka disappeared into the darkness with a laugh on her lips. Kei, glancing at the bird to her left, let out a sigh.
何か言いなさいよ。
別に。ただあなた似合わないわね、こういうの。
A sudden impulse to knock the daylights out of the other girl took hold of Kei, but she managed to contain herself at the last second. She missed her chance to ask what became of Cosme, but now that she thought about it, that was none of her business, really. Indeed, her fate was redundant. It had nothing to do with Kei. She'd already be dead for all she cared. Yet despite her resolve, an inexplicable sense of anxiety washed over every pore of her body, almost as if trying to tell her that she had done something irrevocable. This in turn frustrated her even further.
藤井君とは会えるかな？
会ってどうするの？
そう。でも久しぶりだから。
久しぶり。ね。
It had only been 3 days since they last saw each other. What was she even talking about?
今日逃すともう会えないような気がしたから。会えるといいな。でも怖いな。どんな顔をすればいいのかわかんない。あなたはどう？
別に。
All she could think of was slapping that infuriating fool in the face if she happened to see him here again.
嘘ばっかり。
She wasn't lying. Well, one could say she wished to meet him in a way, just in a completely different sense from the girl. As such, she wasn't scared at all.
めんどくさい子だね、あなた。
Rea's tone of pity almost made Kei snap, but she held it back, clicked her tongue, and said nothing. Chapter 9, Mass Murderer. It took until morning for me to regain consciousness.
まあよ、そういつまでも自己嫌悪してないで。ヒーローが色仕掛けに弱いのはお約束じゃねえの。
Ever since we left the club to investigate the school premises, Shiro had been unable to shut his mouth about this.
だから色仕掛けなんか食らってないって言ってるだろう。
じゃあ何食らったわけ？
それは
言えないような手なら色仕掛けみたいなもんだろ。
He let out a cackle and patted me on the shoulder. Well, I guess he was right in a sense. I wouldn't exactly call that seduction, but the logic was the same. God, I wish he would stop talking about it already.
そんであのバカメスどもはここに行ったんか？
多分な。
We stood in front of the gates of Tsukinosawa High. I couldn't think of any other places where Cosme and Sakurai could have chosen to go together. Can't believe she kidnapped Cosme of all people. My chest was awhirl with a tempest of anger, frustration, and guilt, but now was not the time to wallow in emotions. If Cosme was here, all I had to concentrate on was saving her and taking any enemies out that might stand in my way. Beyond these gates, I would likely be met with a full-blown battlefield.
OK、じゃあ行こうか。
As the two came back in the morning and learned of the situation, they actually used rock, paper, scissors to decide who to accompany me on the search for Cosme. Apparently they had some pressing business to take care of that required at least one of them. And so Shiro won and tagged along with me. I'd say he was the better option, but that'd be a lie. They were both the same, really.
あ？どうした？何見てんだよ。
It was just, well, why was he wearing that?
制服もう持ってないのか？
いや、あるにはあるけど。
じゃあそんなステージ衣装みたいな格好してんなよ。目立ちすぎだろ。
これは俺のユニフォームなんだよ。かっけえだろ。
かっけえっつうか。ああ、もういい。
The conversation was giving me a headache, so I looked away from Shiro. It was hard to tell if he was full of spite or just relied on his carefree attitude to dispel the tension, but no amount of playfulness would help us past this point.
お前、本当にいいんだな。
しつけえな。今さらなんだよ。芋なんか引かねえって。
そうかよ。
Well, okay, if that was what he wanted, then so be it. I just had one pair of arms right here. My job was to fight. Only I could take Sakurai or Rusalka on, so there was only one thing Shiro could do.
かすみの救出はお前がやれよ。
わかってるって。余計な邪魔が入ってなきゃそうしてやるよ。
I really wish that was the case. We'd have a pretty bad problem if it wasn't. I took a deep breath.
行くぞ。
We then passed through the gates. At that moment,
と。
I didn't even know how to describe it. I felt as if we passed through a warm membrane of some sort. I felt my body instantly grow heavier and had trouble breathing. What the hell was going on here? I shook my head, hoping to rid myself of this sudden wave of lightheadedness as Shiro addressed me from behind.
おい、レン。あれ見ろ。
I turned around to see the giant disk of a full moon hanging in the sky. Its ominous reddish light pierced through my skin like needles. I shuddered from the cold, feeling inexplicable exhaustion take hold of my body. More importantly, Shiro dangled his left wrist in front of my eyes. The watch on it said 8:30 a.m.
今日は満月の日じゃねえんだけどな。ここは夜で月が丸い。多分何時でも 待てよ。
Shiro grasped my hand as I tried to take a step back outside through the gates.
やめとけ。わかんないけど出て戻れなかったらどうすんだよ。
He was right. No matter how you looked at it, there was something wrong with this place. Probably wouldn't let me leave, and even if it did, not being able to come back in it would be even worse.
外側からじゃ何も変わってなかったのにな。
The world changed the moment we took a step through the gates. A dark night enveloped us in the middle of the morning.
心当たりあるか？
None. I never knew it was even possible to cause something like this. If I had to liken it to something, then it seemed like kind of the equivalent to the beach that Marie dwelt in suddenly manifesting in the real world. How could one even do such a thing? Nothing made sense to me in here.
悪い。役立たずだ。
そうか。けどまあ悲観すんな。
Shiro gave me a smile as he patted me on the back. I couldn't see the usual carefreeness in that curve of his lips, but just managing to force a confident face in a place like this was already quite an achievement as far as I was concerned. He had balls, that was for sure.
お前は平気か？
ああ、俺は大丈夫。
This inexplicable exhaustion was a bit of a problem, though. I had no idea what was going on, but I felt dizzy and short of breath as if I'd suddenly been brought to the summit of a large mountain or something. Both my hands and feet had grown numb. Wasn't even sure if I could form a proper fist.
とりあえずだな。あまり息すんな。あと切れるな。心拍数も上げるな。
むちゃくちゃ言うな、お前。
無茶なとこ来たんだから無茶しねえとダメだろうがよ。
まあ、そりゃあな。
I obeyed his calm voice. I didn't know if his suggestions would be of any use, but it at least made me calm down a little. They said that a positive attitude was the best medicine after all.
行くぞ。
おうよ。
And so we stepped into the shroud of darkness waiting for us beyond the door. I was prepared for battle. I couldn't say I got used to either killing others or risking my own life, but I could at least face it as an inescapable fact. Still, the situation seemed far worse than I had ever imagined. I had a very bad feeling about this, Cosme. I felt as if there was more dread and despair waiting for me beyond those doors than anything I had lived through to this point.
さて、これはどこ行っても同じだな。おい。
We explored the school, thoroughly investigating each room from the first floor to the fourth. The place remained shrouded in darkness without a single ray of light finding its way inside. I felt just as exhausted as before, with my strength slowly seeping out of my body, as if being siphoned out by some invisible power. Still, there was one thing we luckily managed
と
to
りあえず
discover.
さっきのは礼言っとく。
え？ああ、俺のここはちょっといろいろあれだからな。
He pointed at his nose and made a wry smile. If he hadn't told me to breathe through my mouth, I might have already been done for by this point. The black, jelly-like things slithering around were remnants of blood and flesh that seemed to have been rotting here for hundreds of years. Even though I'd begun breathing through my mouth, their disgusting smell was turning my brain to mush. I probably would have gone insane the moment I took a lungful of rotten air through my nose.
こりゃあれか。ブラムストーカーのあれっぽいよな。わかるだろ？
Shiro didn't exactly spell it out, but he already had an idea about who was responsible for this. And so did I, for that matter. Any fool would realize the nature of this place upon setting foot inside. The school had transformed into a vicious hunting ground for a beast ruled by an aggressive, insatiable lust for flesh, a demonic paradise of blood, its only spectator the full moon perched in the skies of eternal darkness. And who else would lord over a realm like this other than a vampire? In other words,
ビルヘルム。
he was here. So this time I had to be wary of not only Sakurai and Rusalka, but him as well. In fact, I had the feeling he was the most dangerous of them all.
参ったな、あの野郎。俺に目つけてやがんのかも。
He ruffled his hair.
前にちょっとおちょくったからな。いきなりマジかよ。そうなるとさすがに俺もきっついわ。あいつはこ 適度に舐めててくれた方がやりやすいんだよ。わかるだろ？
あ
I too had nearly been killed by Wilhelm before. Prior experience taught me that we couldn't let him get serious. That psycho was an amalgam of malice and raw bloodlust. Meeting him in battle meant a fight to the death with no alternatives. As such, the best way to take him on was to go at him with all you had while he was still holding back. Otherwise, he would simply crush us like flies through overwhelming superiority.
こりゃバカすみ早いとこ引っさらって逃げた方がいいんじゃね？あの女の話じゃ戦場にならないとダメなんだろ？
そうだが
However, there was one thing I couldn't get out of my mind.
本当にここには俺たちしかいないと思うか？
ん？
そうあってほしいとは思うし、そうでなきゃ最悪だけど、最近は楽観主義ができなくなってな。
Their main objective might have indeed been to lure and fight us here. But what if we decided to ignore them? Would they just sit here for days, waiting for us? I couldn't imagine them being so ludicrous.
俺が来ても来なくても、どうなろうと対処できるようにするのが普通だろう。ビルヘルムはそんなこと考えなくても、ルサルカは。
I couldn't imagine such a detail escaping that sly bitch. If this place did become a battlefield, she'd just turn it into execution grounds.
なるほどね。でもざっと回ってみた結果、一っ子一人いなかったぜ。
ここが普通の場所に見えるか？
いや全然。もしかしたら忍者屋敷並みの仕掛けが働くかもしんねえし、例えば壁の中、天井裏とか地面の下とか、侵入者を飲み込むことができるんだったら。
それとも目に映る景色を実際とは違うように歪めて見せることができるとしたら。
In that case, they might as well have been hiding the 500 students of the school somewhere out of sight.
けど確かめる方法はない。
答えがわからないなら用だけ済ませて逃げるわけにもいかない。
おお、そりゃ参ったね。
いきなり攻撃してくる気配もないしな。
Though it also made me curious why Wilhelm would let us run free inside a place that might as well have been his belly. Was he waiting for something? If so, what? Was it a trap, or a gunshot to signal the start of battle?
こっちから探ったりはできねえの？
さっきからやろうとはしてるんだけどな。
Sensing others killing intent or the impending storm after the calm was far beyond my capabilities, if that was what he wanted to know. My senses might have grown keener, but I was still no match for war-trained soldiers, one of which I was trying to find now. However, giving up was not an option.
少し真剣にやってみる。しばらく話しかけないでくれ。
了解。じゃあ俺は俺で試してみるか。
I didn't know what he was up to, but Shiro began straining his ears. Then again, I suppose it wouldn't hurt. He did have animal-like senses after all.
先に見つけた方が飯おごりだからな。
I gave him an ironic smile before closing my eyes to focus my senses. All animals had a sense of territory, and humans were no exception. Anyone would feel uncomfortable if someone they didn't like invaded their personal space. Just like how people preferred to sit a few seats apart in the cafeteria, or just how they chose the urinals furthest away from those they occupied, they would always unconsciously try to maintain distance from their kin whenever they could. And apparently, it was young men who needed the most personal space. Then what about me? What constituted my usual territory? I couldn't tell if it was a good or a bad thing, but I felt quite certain of the fact that I needed more personal space than most. I mean, Cosme had already called me asocial, and I barely had any friends. No wonder I disliked anyone being close to me. As I closed my eyes, I could feel it with my skin. Shiro staying next to me, not even a meter apart. I could sense his breathing, heartbeat, and mental state. I widened the radius further. 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. My territory extended like a sphere, both to the left and right, up and down. I created my own pocket world inside Wilhelm's realm. His will, of course, resisted my intrusion, and my realm extended at a snail's pace at best, but I could still feel the area of my perception widen. And so...
おっと
Shiro locked eyes with me once I jerked my head up.
下の階だな。話し声がした。
You kidding me? What was he, a bat? I was a little surprised at how genuinely sharp his senses were, but either way, I sensed the exact same thing. And what was more...
先輩
ん
氷室先輩がいる。
マジで
気のせいじゃない。
She was on the third floor right below us. We must have checked that room just a couple of minutes ago and found it empty, yet I could sense her quite clearly over there right now. There was just no way I could mistake Irae Himuro for someone else. She was one of the very few people I cared about just as much as Cosme, if not even more.
一人
わからない。
I spotted her only because she was a regular person. I extended my senses, which weren't even that keen to begin with, to a wide area, so I doubted I could detect any of those warmongers unless they wished themselves to be found.
けど無事ではいる。と思う。
She seemed calm and self-possessed, her head half in the clouds as usual. In any case, it didn't feel like she was either fleeing from someone or being confined. As such, there's only one thing to do.
行くぞシロ。あの人を確保する。
Why was she here? How was she related to those maniacs? This wasn't exactly the best time for long-winded discussions, but I also couldn't just abandon her.
俺らを釣る餌ってことはないんかよ。
Yeah, I could guess that much myself. That possibility was high, and us getting into a heap of trouble even higher. Nonetheless.
俺は行くぞ。誰がなんて言っても。
へいへい。俺も行ってみただけだよ。
We gave each other a nod, then dashed through the corridor. I jumped down the stairs to the third floor in a single leap.
で、どこよ
I raised my hand and pointed at one of the rooms in silence.
4組。
俺らのクラスだ。
As well as Sakurai and Rusalka's.
いやー、思い返すと濃いメンツだったよな。
He really should have minded his own business, but I couldn't deny it. The school was the closest place I had to a normal life, and also the first of my safe havens to be destroyed. Just a group of 40 or so students laughing and getting angry at each other, studying and falling in love, chatting and playing around. The kind of peaceful, boring daily life you could come across practically everywhere. I'd hoped I could live out the rest of my life surrounded by that mundane bliss, yet it was abruptly and cruelly taken from me. The door opened with a repulsive creak, revealing a certain girl.
藤井君
Irae Himuro, once our senior in school and now a tiny ticking bomb whose position in all this I still couldn't quite discern. Depending on her answers, I might end up having to fight her as well. My thoughts gave way for sheer anxiety as I saw her, prompting me to let my guard down.
Oh.
Sakurai. Would have been lying if I said my thoughts didn't freeze when I saw her emerge from the classroom after Himuro. If she had attacked me right then, I would have been dead in an instant.
よう姉ちゃん、俺に何の断りもなく帰るなんてひどいじゃんよ。
Shiro took a step forward with a smile, as if trying to cover me while I was still dumbfounded. His voice betrayed no hint of surprise or anxiety. He likely expected there to be someone watching over Himuro.
俺はレンよりだいぶ薄情だからな。餌は食っても釣られねえぞ。で、お二人さんはここで何をしてるわけ？
ユサ君こそ何してるの？
俺はあんた見りゃわかるっしょ。修羅場にシャシャってくんのはいつものことじゃん。それで
Shiro glanced at Sakurai again. It was at that point that I finally regained my composure.
悪いなシロ。もう大丈夫だ。
I took a step forward, allowing Shiro to step back instead. With Sakurai around, it was a bad idea to let him stand in front unprotected.
先輩はまあ後で話そう。とりあえず無事そうで安心しました。
藤井君も。
ええ。それで桜井。
The emotions I'd been suppressing up until now erupted all at once, filling my eyes with rage. Not even my consideration for Himuro could stop me from staring daggers at Sakurai. To tell the truth, my blood had been boiling since last night. I was frustrated with my own naivete, my own stupidity, as well as the woman who dared kidnap Cosme from right under my nose.
あいつはどこだ桜井。 答えないと。
Kill you right here and now. Might have grown to know her better during these past few days, but my anger at the moment far outweighed any sympathy I'd built for her. I ignored Himuro's bemused state. Shiro must have said something as well, but I paid no attention to it. My gaze remained fixated on Sakurai and her alone. Depending on her answer, I could have very well attacked her right then and there. As such,
綾瀬さんなら知らない。
that anticlimactic answer of hers felt like a rush of cold water over me.
知らないだと。
ええ、聞かれても答えられない。
She didn't appear to be lying, which also meant that my worst fears had come to pass.
じゃあ今は他のやつのところかよ。
Honestly, if Cosme were to be kidnapped by any of them, I wish it would have been Sakurai. At least she wasn't as dangerous as Wilhelm or Rusalka.
どうするよレン。お前はこいつを締め上げたいんだろうけど、そういう状況でもそれで型がつくわけでもなさそうな感じだぞ。
分かってる。
She was pissing me off to no end, but her main objective here wasn't to teach her a lesson, regardless of how much I would have liked that to be the case. Either way, taking care of her wasn't a priority at the moment. My first order of business was to save Cosme, also.
先輩、今のここに他のやつはいないのか。
それは。
Her eyes widened as I seized her by the shoulders, pulling her close.
教えてくれ先輩。他の生徒はいるのかいないのか。
She looked away from me and fell silent, ignoring my question. That wasn't it. That was actually her way of answering it. Then, I followed her gaze outside, where I could see one silhouette after another pop up in the yard. Faces both familiar and new, both guys and girls, everyone from my year.
おいおい。
Shiro was also taken aback. I couldn't blame him. It really was a bizarre sight. I could tell there were about 200 people in the yard by now. Some were dressed in uniform, some in casual clothes, and some even in pajamas. All of them seemed completely out of it.
かすみは
I couldn't. I think I looked through everyone over there, and she didn't seem to be among them. With her there or not, this certainly didn't seem like a good sign.
見ろよ、あれ。
Shiro's voice rang uncharacteristically urgent. I followed his finger with my gaze to see a giant frame looming in the center of the yard, with students surrounding it. A genuine monster if I'd ever seen one.
カイン。
If that thing was here, did that mean Sister Lisa was also around?
ダメだ。もう遅い。
Shiro's voice trailed off. Sakurai looked away while Himuro simply shivered in my grasp. I merely gazed at the spectacle before me, completely dumbfounded. There was simply nothing I could do from here. Kane swung the giant lump of metal in his hands. Much like in the club, it erupted in purple lightning, swallowing 100 or so students in the blink of an eye, leaving nothing but bloody smoke and burnt flesh in their place. Himuro wrapped her hands around my back and pressed against me to block my vision, as if thinking she could escape this nightmare by merely refusing to acknowledge its existence. But it was too late. Her frame was much too small to cover my eyes. Some of the pieces of beaded entrails of what used to be my schoolmates were flung so hard they reached up to the third floor, splattering against the window in front of us. I could make out a severed hand and a piece of leg stuck against the window frame. That red mush was probably the remains of someone's heart. The thing that looked like a blown-up balloon must have been a lung. I even spotted a jaw, an eyeball, a torn-off scalp with hair still clinging to it, as well as half a face, all destroyed beyond recognition. They all gave me condemning looks. Why didn't you come here earlier? Why was a bastard like you in our school anyway? If you'd never been around, No, we would have never ended up like this. I could practically hear my mind crumble. My whole world was falling apart. My day-to-day life, a place for me to return to. Why did a depraved fool like me ever delude himself into thinking he could protect them? Sheer frustration made my tears flow and I was unable to stop them. I barely even known the faces of those massacred students. And that weighed the heaviest upon my soul. It felt like an insult to their memory. I shoved Himuro aside and ran my fist into the window glass, yet I lacked the strength to even shatter something as thin as that. The window remained intact, as if mocking me for being completely powerless. As if telling me I could never save anyone. That it was just another sacrifice brought here to rot and be turned into sludge. I let out a deafening scream from the very bottom of my heart, cursing the name of my mortal enemy. I'd make him pay. I'd kill him, Kane too, and the priest, and Rusalka, and then Sakurai, and that accursed Sister Lisa as well.
てめえら俺とやりたいなら勝ってやる。つまらねえ雑魚殺してエツに言ってんじゃねえぞ、腰抜け野郎。いい度胸だ。
The temperature around us suddenly shot 10 or so degrees down. A whole arrangement of scornful laughs, a snort, a chuckle, a guffaw, and a howl reverberated across the halls, merging into one continuous fit of maniacal laughter. And beneath it, the vilest, most genuine lust for another's blood.
じゃあ、本番行こうか、小僧。せいぜい食い出のある生きのいい餌になれや。
It was about to start. Wilhelm had yet to unveil the true face of his realm. Thus far, he had merely been playing around, but in this moment...
金落ちろ恋人、死骸を晒せ。私の愛で朽ちるあなた、私だけが知っている。
His voice reverberated across the night. The third stage of a big kite. I wasn't taught about it by anyone, but I could still feel it and comprehend its terror on my skin.
ローゼンカバリエ・シュバルツバルド。
An overwhelming sense of exhaustion washed over me, one more intense than anything I'd experienced before. I could barely breathe, let alone stand. A vampiric knight ready to drain the very life of all that dared venture into his realm. Such was the nature of Wilhelm's.
想像だ。さあ、どうするよ、小僧。
In response to a boost of his will, the crimson hue of the blood covering the area deepened. Cracks began to appear all over the ceiling and the walls. Even inanimate objects had their life energy drained.
Shiro!
It was instinct alone that made me muster the last of my strength to leap with a scream. A whole swarm of stakes suddenly shot out of the gaping cracks currently surrounding us.
Senpai!
Had I not managed to grab the confused girl and dive out of harm's way, she would have been skewered like a pig. We were inside his belly. I had long since lost count of the number of stakes that appeared, all lusting for our blood. Was it a dozen, 100, 1,000? No. They sprouted in tens of thousands like thorns of a nightmarish rose.
動けるか。
ま、なんとかな。
よし。だったら。
I had more resistance against this world than Shiro or Himuro, so it was obviously me who should have fought him. What of Kei? No, more importantly, what of Rusalka and Cosme? Himuro shivered in my arms. In the boundless forest of bloody stakes, I could make out remnants of bone and scraps of cloth hanging from their tips. Among them, I recognized some as pieces of our school's uniform.
足りねえよ、小僧。マリウスが集めたの300人。それっぽっちの劣等じゃ俺の腹は膨れねえ。ここの素足しかは開かねえ。やるんだろ。買ってくれるんだろ、戦争を。退屈させんなよ、男。てめえの面はあいつに見すぎて、そこの女どもやりたくなるぜ。
かすみは。
In an attempt to drown out his ridiculous cackle with a roar of my own, I asked him the most important question of them all.
かすみは一体どこにいる？お前がさらったのかビルヘルム！
くだらねえ濡れ衣だな。俺は殺し合いに来たんだぜ。人さらいの真似事なんとするかよ。そういうのはマリウスの領分で探してみろよ。急がねえとええわけに合うぜ。
I suppressed my anger. Now wasn't the time for emotions. Cosme was in Rusalka's clutches. I didn't have enough manpower to save her and fight these bastards off. I was up against Kei, Rusalka, and Wilhelm. I had to protect Cosme, Hero, and the other students. Yet all we had was me and Shiro. What should we do? What could I do? I had no time to hesitate. I had to make a choice right away, but I simply couldn't come up with anything.
仕方ねえな。
Shiro spoke in a different voice that realized, as if he'd realized my hesitation.
下の奴らは見捨てろ。優先順位だ。
Priorities. Sakurai had been talking about that too, and she was indeed right, but...
それから先輩も無視だ。別にほっといても死にやしねえよ。なあ、そうだろ？それがお前の役目じゃねえの？
Shiro turned to Sakurai, who hadn't said a word this whole time.
割り切ろうぜ、レイ。こりゃもうしょうがねえ。
I possessed no words strong enough to express the inner turmoil inside me. But Shiro was right.
だな。そうするがいいぜ、小僧ども。で、俺の相手はどっちだよ。うるせえ！
Shiro and I shouted in sync.
てめえの相手は
俺だ！
Shiro held his arm in front of me as if to prevent me from lunging at Wilhelm.
第2ラウンド行こうぜ、吸血鬼野郎。てめえは俺が締めてやる。つうわけで、お前はとっととバカスミ取り返してこい。もたもたすんな。
I couldn't answer him right away. If I did, I wouldn't have anything good to say. Like, can you win? Or, what do you plan to do? If the main goal of our fight was to get Cosme back, then I certainly was the only one who could fight Rusalka. While Kane was... Damn it!
あとな、この割り振りは俺が判断したことだからよ。お前には責任とかそういうのはねえ。まあなんつうんだ、悪い連れの口車に乗っちまったとでも思えよ。
バカ野郎。
There was no way an excuse like that would fool me, but I could tell that he was actually showing me some consideration for once. Which is why...
死ぬなよ。
I turned around with those lone words. Himura was right in front of me. I felt something that most certainly couldn't show or start welling up in my eyes than when I saw her face. So...
俺は先輩を信じてる。
I muttered that, then wrapped my arms around her slender figure. A familiar face, and one of my few friends. I was dumb and naive, so I had no clue what sort of position she was in or what she was thinking, but... my words and actions were probably driving her further and further into a corner. At that moment, I just wanted to put my thoughts into words.
俺にとって大事な人だから、なくしたくない。俺は何も知らないしわからないけど、だからもっと話したいし、一緒にいたいと思ってる。
藤井君。
これが終わったら俺たちと帰ろう。先輩はこんなところにいちゃダメだ。
私は。
She stopped herself before she could say the rest, while I broke off into a dash away from the group. I could feel Wilhelm and Shiro's battle beginning behind me. You guys seriously had not better die. Run away as if it looks like you're going to lose. No, run away if it looks like you're going to lose, no matter what it takes. All you've got to do is survive until I beat Rusalka and take back Cosme. But a moment later,
気に入らない。
I thought I heard a voice.
本当に気に入らない。彼を怪我すのもいい加減にしろ。
I felt like I heard something, but maybe it was just my imagination. Once they could no longer see Ren, Shiro, and Wilhelm sprung into action. It was Wilhelm who struck first. Wilhelm lunged forward with a roar and a swift right hook that tore through all. It was unfocused and ruthless, a deadly talon with naught but pure power behind it. Shiro somehow managed to dodge the earth-splitting arm. With his target out of range, Wilhelm's fist shattered the nearby wall, scattering concrete everywhere. Shiro kept moving with his beloved desert eagle in hand, trying to put as much distance between him and Wilhelm as possible. Three roaring gunshots echoed as Shiro's arm trembled from the recoil each time. The bolts accurately smashed into Wilhelm's body. He didn't even try to dodge. Wilhelm lunged towards Shiro, not giving the bullets even a second thought.
ほらほらどうした!そんなもん効かねえのは分かってんだろ!
He recklessly swung his arms back and forth, putting Shiro on the ropes. The students staying nearby that got caught up in the assault burst like sacks of blood one after another. Shiro's frantic panicking was met by Wilhelm's composed smile, his smirk growing wider with each attack the boy dodged.
なんかあるだろ考えてきたんだろ用意してきたんだろ俺出せよ殺します
He was up against a subclass monkey who didn't have enough power to match him on equal terms, yet he proved to betray all expectations last time. He simply couldn't help feeling that the brat would find a way to thoroughly entertain him. Meanwhile, Shiro kept on attacking while concocting a plan to break the stalemate. Bullets and physical attacks did nothing to the damn monster. In that case, what would work on him?
この野郎
Shiro pulled the trigger without aiming. Each new gunshot was replaced with the next, creating a thunderous boom all around them. He knew his attacks would be fruitless, but they would buy him a few extra seconds to get his thoughts in order. As expected, the bullets had no effect on Wilhelm. Those lucky to hit their target bounced off his body like BB pellets against a metal wall. Shiro kept thinking in the meantime. The power to turn day to night, red eyes, pallid skin. It was safe to assume that his abilities were boosted in this realm dominated by the night. Perhaps this Wilhelm was in fact...
なんだもう終わりかよ
Wilhelm sounded genuinely bored. To put it more accurately, he was let down. In the end, it was taking his opponent everything he had to dodge.
くそ
Shiro had already used up his current magazine. No matter how many times he pulled the trigger, all he heard was a click. Having no time to swap magazines, all he could do was focus on dodging Wilhelm's attacks. As Wilhelm's attacks grew in speed and ferocity, Shiro found himself being driven deeper into a corner. Eventually, one of Wilhelm's strikes finally connected. It hadn't been a punch. Shiro's arm nearly touched Wilhelm's chest when he'd been dodging, yet that was enough to send Shiro flying. His body shot through the air and crashed into a nearby wall to force him an out-of-control roller coaster. His lungs crushed by the harrowing impact, Shiro coughed up blood. He fell from the wall to the floor, hitting the ground with an audible thud.
おいおい一発で終わりかさっきまでの威勢の良さはどこ行っちまったんだよまだやれるだろほら立てよ
Wilhelm began to slowly approach Shiro while taunting him in every other breath. Shiro shook his still hazy head. He tried to stand, but his legs refused to obey. He only managed to totter on over to the wall before collapsing to his knees again. Wilhelm glared down at Shiro, his voice pregnant with irritation.
さあどうだろうな
Shiro, on the other hand, simply grinned at Wilhelm like he had some sort of trick up his sleeve. As Shiro and Wilhelm's battle raged on, Kei was out in the courtyard trying to stop Kane's rampage. Only only 10 meters separated Kei and the rampaging Kane.
やめなさいカイン
But despite Kei's pleas, Kane's rage would not subside. Kei took another step towards Kane to close the gap between them. She knew she would make progress otherwise. At that moment, Kei's world was ravaged by a blinding light and a deafening boom. Realizing she was about to be struck by lightning, Kei jumped back and dodged the bolt in the nick of time. However, the electrical attacks did not cease. One lightning bolt after another shot straight towards Kei. Kei simply dodging each and every one of them as she continued to close the gap between herself and Kane. The two of them were now so close that Kei merely had to take another step to be in direct contact with Kane. But just as Kei reached out and tried to close that distance, the mammoth lance in Kane's hand shone, unleashing innumerable bolts of lightning across the whole courtyard. Unable to dodge the onslaught, Kei groaned in agony. She was on the verge of fainting from the torrents of voltage coursing through her body, yet Kei refused to take her eyes off Kane and kept moving forward. As she endured the kind of agony that would kill any ordinary person hundreds of times over, Kei inched closer and closer to Kane. Kei watched as Kane continued to lay waste to the school grounds. She'd probably died in minutes from a mere touch of the lance in his hand, but Kane could not. And finally, Kei touched Kane, firmly wrapping her arms around him.
カインやめなさい
Through that action, Kane too had been exposed to the countless bolts searching through Kei's body. Yet the thing was but a corpse, and thus felt not an iota of pain as he continued to ravage the courtyard and all the students around him.
カインやめ
All of a sudden, pain shot through Kei's abdomen. Her face scrunched as she felt pain akin to her innards being gouged from the inside out.
これは
The curse Rusalka had cast on her was taking effect. Images of the elderly witch and youthful skin rose in a corner of Kei's mind. She recalled the witch's warning, how an act of betrayal would activate the curse. Attempting to stop Kane was indeed an act of betrayal, but though she knew that, that knowledge did not lessen Kei's grip one bit. Kane's lightning and Rusalka's curse were torturing Kei in tandem. Whether racked by lightning or devoured by a curse, Kane refused to let go of Kane. She had to stop him, no matter the cost. A giggle echoed in Kei's ears. Kei looked up in search of the voice. The perpetrator was on the roof. She was looking downward at Kei from behind the fence, flashing a thoroughly amused smile.
やっぱり裏切ったわねレオン
Rusalka addressed Kei in a cheerful tone, not paying the slightest attention to her pain. Though Kei was no liberator, she could somehow hear what the witch was saying from this distance. Her tone made it sound as if she'd been sure Kei would betray her.
ザラテストラにもだいぶ肩入れしていたみたいだし私をベイのやり方も気に入らなさそうにしてたからいつか裏切るんじゃないかって思ってたのよねでもその調子じゃこれ以上何もできそうにないわねそこで何もできない自分を呪いながら苦しみもだえて死んじゃいなさいカインなんだったらそこの裏切り者一思いにやっちゃっていいわよ
And with that, Rusalka moved away from the fence. Kei shot a hateful glare at Rusalka, a fierce rage roared in her eyes.
マレウス許さない絶対にお前は
Kei understood from Rusalka's words that the red-haired witch was the one controlling Kane. She was letting him go berserk, knowing full well that his body was deteriorating. So in order to stop it, Rusalka had to be beaten. Resolving herself, Kei let go of Kei, and then she parted her lips to speak.
形成
Her honor may manifest with that word. The ancient sword Hihi... I'm gonna need a second for that one. Hihi Irokane. Shining scarlet wrapped in flickering flames like the sun, forged from legendary vermilion metal described in the Takeuchi documents and account of the Age of the Gods. Kei held up her flaming sword and glared at the witch on the roof that she had to defeat.
これで死ぬことになっても構わないマリウスお前だけは必ず倒す